Chapter 13. There was sunlight behind Imogen's eyelids. Bells tolled. That was odd. There were no churches near her house. A cockerel crowed. Definitely odd. And she couldn't hear the familiar noises of home. Her mom's radio, the cat demanding breakfast. Where was the smell of fried eggs? She opened one eye. Where was her orange juice? She opened the other. Where was any of it? And then Imogen remembered. Propped up on her elbows, she looked around, detangling her dreams from last night's reality. The forest was real. The city full of bones was real. The boy who rescued them was real. In fact, he was awake and observing her from a chair by the fire. Thought Imogen. What was the appropriate thing to say? Perhaps, "Good morning," or "How did you sleep?" These were the things Mom normally said to guests. But Imogen was a guest, so she cut straight to the chase. "You have to take us back to the tea rooms. We're not supposed to be here." The boy slouched in his chair. "Aren't you supposed to say something like, 'Thanks for saving my life'?" Imogen hopped out of bed. "What time is it?" she asked. "Morning," he said. "I can see that, but what's the time?" She pulled on her shoes and went to wake Mary. "What does it matter?" said the boy. "There's no rush." "Of course there is. Our mom will be worried or angry or both." The boy's feet didn't quite touch the floor and he swung his legs as he spoke. "Don't you remember?" he said. "My clock's broken. I don't know the time. There were bells at dawn and bells at dusk. Everything in between is day. Why rush back to see a bunch of angry grown-ups anyway?" "I don't want to go to school," murmured Mary, still half asleep. The boy slid down from his chair and added, a little petulantly, "I thought you'd at least stay for an evening meal." "What planet are you living on?" said Imogen. "We've been gone all night. Mom must have got home ages ago, and I bet Grandma's called the police. They'll be out there in the gardens, searching for us with dogs." "Oh, come on now. Peasants go missing all the time. Nobody goes looking for them, especially not dogs." "This is the last time I'm going to tell you. We are not peasants." Mary was awake now and peering round the room with bleary eyes. "Come on, Mary," said Imogen. "We're leaving." The boy ran to the door. "No, you're not," he cried, blocking the exit. "I won't allow it." Mary rubbed sleep from her eyes. "Imogen, I want to go home." "I command you to stay," cried the boy. "Don't worry," said Imogen, helping Mary out of bed. "We're going. Put your shoes on." "Is this how you repay your rescuer? Is this the way to treat a prince?" "I don't care who you are," said Imogen. "Move." "Shit." The boy glowered at the sisters. Imogen considered her options. There was a pair of axes hanging above the fireplace. They looked heavy. There was a crossbow by the door. She had no idea how to work that. And then she saw a sword mounted on the wall by the bed. She climbed onto the headboard. "What are you doing?" said the boy. Imogen held onto the four-poster bed with one hand and reached for the sword with the other. "Leave that alone!" cried the boy. Imogen grabbed the sword's hilt. She tugged at it until it swung free. The boy let out a little squeak. The sword was heavier than Imogen had expected, and it fell to the floor with a thud. Mary ran over, suddenly wide awake and eager to help. She picked up the sword with 2 hands. "Now," said Imogen, jumping down from the bed. "Stand aside." The boy's face fell. "Shan't," he said, sounding a little less certain than before. The sisters advanced. Mary was slashing at the air in a way that made Imogen nervous. "All right, Mary, ring it in," she hissed. "I'm not doing it on purpose," said her sister. "It's really heavy." The boy's eyes followed the blade. "You can't go," he said, standing his ground. "Not until after dinner. It isn't fair." At the last moment, he lost his nerve and dived to the right, leaving the door exposed. Mary dropped the sword. Imogen opened the door and hurtled down the spiral staircase. "Come on," she called to her sister. "Follow me." She collided with a figure who was coming up the stairs. She stumbled back into the boys' room, tripping and landing on top of Mary. "What's it?" said the figure. "A pair of peasants coming to steal from His Royal Highness." "We didn't steal nothing," said Mary passionately. "Anything," corrected her sister. "Is that so?" said the figure, stepping into the light. An ancient man in a black robe stood wheezing in the doorway. His face was shriveled and deathly white. He looked like a creature that had lived under a rock for too long. When he caught his breath, he pointed at Imogen and Mary. "We'll let the king decide what to do with you two," he said.